Okay, today is Thursday. It is 7:57 p.m. It is March. It is March. It is March. It is March 19th. So, I made a few trades today. Actually, quite a few trades. It happens that way if I don't get my trades right. Okay, and I'm trying to so when I'm trying to like fill like quota, I tend to like trade more than I should. Okay, so that's been the story today. But fortunately for me, I was net positive today. Okay. I had a couple of trades that were quite a large loss, but I was able to accumulate some gains and overcome it. Now there were like three trades that I need to be. There are essentially three trades. Okay, there are three trades that I took, which required me to, which essentially. So what happened was I went in thinking that it was a breakout, but I was actually at the top of the A. So there's when there's a break and retest, that occurs right at the resistance area. So what I was expecting is, okay, so I thought on these three instances, what happened was it went up. And I thought that was because it was above that resistance area. And so I thought to myself, okay, so that's a breakout. Okay, it's a pure and simple breakout. It's not a break and retest. It's a pure breakout. So I did that like 3 times. And so I had some size in it. And what happened was it broke through. It held. So I went in, but it dropped. Okay, so I was in drawdown a significant amount, like 5 or 6 times the gains that I was getting. Okay, and I was sitting through it. I'm just like, okay, so obviously my strategy, I can see that the setup is correct. Okay, my conclusion about the setup is correct, and fortunately for me, the trend was in my direction, and so all I had to do is wait for the price to catch up to the point where I entered, and then I could get out. And so I eked out a small gain. But what I need to be aware of when I took those 3 trades, it was essentially 3 trades where there was resistance. It broke above. I went in, dropped, and then I had to sit through this drop here with some sides. Okay, and then it started to come back up. Okay. And then as soon as it got up, I'm thinking, okay, so I need to exit. So my gain was quite small compared to the severe amount of drawdown that occurred. So that essentially, even though it was actually trending, okay, so obviously it wasn't parabolic. Okay, so my thinking was that it was parabolic, but it's not parabolic. It was essentially very similar to a break and retest, and it was performing a break and retest situation where the price was above, and I thought it was a pure breakout, but it was a bit more complicated. And when it became more complicated, I was holding on to a severe drawdown, and I had to wait for it, and it could have gone the other way, and it could have been a big loss. But fortunately for me, there were a couple of factors that were in there. So I realized that the security that I was trading was in an uptrend. Okay, and I was on the front side, which is correct. But there was that pullback as it was trading around that resistance area, and it is known there are 3 parts to a break and retest. The A part, which essentially is punching right through it. Then the B part pulls back down, and the C part, when C part is breaking above the previous high that was created by the break. Okay, and so what I did was I got in at the top of A. I should have waited until I was at the bottom of the B. That is the maximum point. Okay, even with the bottom of B, it's not certain because it dropped below. It has to claim. It has to claim to partiality of C. C has to be above A, the high part of A, in order to have a bigger confirmation, a higher confirmation that the trade is indeed on the front side. Okay, and so even if I get in at the low part of B, B could just keep going down, right? And so C may never occur. So I have to make sure that C is there, and I missed it 3 times today. So I need to fine tune that, and once I fine tune that, the gains would be tremendous. Okay, because I was sitting there, I can see that drawdown was severe. I mean, it was severe, and if I were to have taken advantage of that, it would have been a blockbuster day. It could have been so if I can fine tune that, so if I'm able to somehow figure out that the entry point somewhere where that B point is and time it and be in alignment with that pullback, okay, which is essentially what a break and retest is. It is performing a break and retest, which is a pullback. And so so when I catch that at the low point, then it will be the drawdown was severe. I mean, it was severe, and I thought if I had to pay the next month's rent, okay, if I had to pay the next month's rent with the trade that I made, the trade that I took would have been totally. I mean, I would not have been able to hold on to it. I mean, that's how things are. So now, if I can just fine tune that. If I can just fine tune that and incorporate it into my trading, which I need to do. I need to figure this out. I need to figure it. So it pops up. I got in here. That's not what I want to do. Pops up. Okay. I have to confirm that it broken through. Okay. I have to confirm, or I have to be here seeing that it's going towards that and ride it up to that point. That would be one trade. But when the price is above, I cannot get into it, right above it. I cannot get into it. If it's a parabolic move, then it's just going to have to keep going. If I get into it, there could be some other indicators that shows it. But what it will do as soon as when it goes up, and I noticed that there was some ferocity to that movement going up. And so even with that ferocity, punches right through and then starts to retrace. And that retracement is the B part. And I have to understand. So essentially, I have to understand A, B, and C, right? A, B, and C. Okay, A, B, and C part of it. Okay. So as soon as I understand how to identify the B part of it, and also identify the C part of it, then that's going to allow me to essentially. I mean, it's going to be a night and day. It's like. I could literally pay I could literally pay, if I dial that part of it in, I could literally pay a month's rent with that particular entry point. If I can fine tune it, okay, and it happens quite a bit. Okay, it happens quite a bit, and so that single transaction essentially could be a 1 month rent. It's like the 3 trades that I took. Each one of them could easily be a 1 month rent kind of thing. Anyway, so I saw what I can do to improve. I saw how it could have been. It could have easily have gone the other way. And it could have been a drastically different day today, okay? Because I had that trend right, and I was able to trade it, and I was able to hold on to it despite the fact that it was I mean, the size made it very, very difficult to hold on to. And then I exited, leaving quite a bit on the table in order to alleviate the fear that I had built up while the price was below the point where I bought it. So break and retest happens quite a bit. So all I have to do is just figure out how to incorporate that into my trading. When something is actually trending like that, there's a lot of points where if it's not parabolic, there's going to be a point where it takes a breather and pulls back a little bit and starts going back up. And so that essentially is a break and retest. If I look to the left, it may not have a solid real estate that specifies that price region has a demonstrated resistance, okay? But there will be in areas where it will perform a pullback before it starts to move back up when the trend is strong. Even if it's strong, it's going to have some form of a pullback. So I need to adjust that a little bit, and trading should be it will be a dramatic shift. I believe it will be a dramatic shift.